Good morning, everybody. Welcome to more curling on Curdia. We've got the semifinals this morning.
We also got the final, but indeed first.
It is the final day of the Gouden Carolus Classic 2023. We have the semifinal first, a match between the four Pioneers and Desperate Housekeepers. Really looking forward to this. I mean, these are a couple of Belgian teams. We know all of these guys very well, but four Pioneers are a combined team. Not the usual Team Vareka, but still very top quality players, I think. So we should be in for a good treat this morning.
Yeah, I agree, and I have high expectations for the four Pioneers. They were pretty impressive. They seem like a very solid team. We know they train together a lot, and they have a lot of potential. And of course, it's a new composed team. But knowing that, it's also a composed team of two doubles teams. We have Bilenki, Karl and Jeroen playing in the doubles. And then we have IDK, which is Timo and Mirte. So those players, they know each other so well. And I think that shows in their game that they just seem like a routine team. And that's their strength. But same goes for Desperate Housekeepers, basically. They are one of the regulars.
Yeah. And so, these guys have been playing a while. They do have a substitution in their ranks. So Yeri, their coach, is filling in at their second spot because Thomas isn't able to play this weekend. But, he knows them. They know how he plays. He's a good player himself. So it should be a good lineup all the way through. And with going back to the four Pioneers, they actually are planning on playing in some mixed tournaments next year, from what I understand. So there's some 4-man mixed tournaments, 2 men, 2 women. So they plan on playing that. That's one of the reasons why they're playing this tournament together, get a little more experience. And so we're looking forward to it. They're doing their last little bit of sliding out on the ice just to get warm-ups. No stones to warm up with, just sliding. So it always makes the first couple of ends interesting to see who can pick up the nuances in the ice. What's the speed, what's the curl, and the way we've seen the ice all weekend, it's like it's going to be fast. There's going to be a lot of curl. So getting that weight right, finding that the aim point is going to be crucial today.
Yeah. Also, a morning session, 9:30, an early game after having played a lots of games yesterday, a big day of curling yesterday.
Yeah.
I know that
followed by a beer tasting.
Yeah, followed by the beer tasting.
Let's not forget that.
Yeah. So yeah, the Housekeepers, they went back to their home base quite early. They take this tournament seriously. They skipped on the National Belgium Cup. They didn't play the cup, but their goal for the season in terms of gaining or winning some trophies is all set for this Gouden Carolus Classic Cup. So they're really taking the final seriously, and they had a big win over Grey Ducks in the quarterfinals. They won 10-2 over Grey Ducks. Grey Ducks that we considered as potential candidates to come far in this tournament. I've noted them as a potential semi-final, maybe final candidate, but Housekeepers just did a walkover there. So yeah, they could be very strong. They are well prepared, and they will not take this like as a bonspiel or as just kind of a friendly tryout game for them. This is serious business. This is money time, because there's also a lot at stake here. The prize money. I think the winner gets 400 euros, second place 200, and third place 100 euros. And of course, each team gets to collect a collection of the beer sponsors, so a set of beers to take home or to consume here at the venue. That's up to them to decide. But yeah, there's some money at stake here. It's a bonspiel, but you still want to win, especially if you came this far and you're in the semifinals. Now you have one goal. Make sure you win this game and you go for the big stage and the final game here.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the camera preview, and I see Gary's going out with the pebbler. So I'm wondering if there's a spot. Looks like there's a dead spot in front of one of the hacks. So nothing major, but just kind of putting it over just to make sure that the slide path is covered. Because obviously you slide out of the hack and there's no pebble. You don't go as far, and then you hit the pebble and suddenly you're going a little bit faster. It's going to affect things. So they're just throwing out some extra pebble on there.
Yeah. Looking at the other semifinal, we have the Master Bears, the Master Beren, competing against the Team Reitsma. Team Reitsma struggling to get in the semifinal. We remember they had a hard time yesterday competing against Stick and Stones.
Match that we kind of expected to be a walkover came down to the final stones. So it was very great match to watch. Lots of action. But Team Reitzma themselves said they weren't playing their best. They didn't feel like they had played very well. So they're hoping to bounce back this morning. I mean, I think that was their 6th match in 2 days. So it was quite a lot, or 5th match in 2 days. So it's a lot of curling. And I think they had 3 matches yesterday. So it was a long day of curling for them. Maybe it kind of showed a little bit of loss of focus, but you also not to take away from Stick and Stones. They played a fantastic match.
Yeah, indeed.
And they're going against the Master Beta, who have really played well. Yesterday, their 2 matches, they played very strong, put up 2 really strong performances in the last group stage match in the quarterfinals. So it's gonna be a tough match for Team Reitzma. So looking forward to all 4 teams left in this tournament are really good.
Yeah.
We would be happy to have any of them, any combination of them in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the thing with curling. Sometimes you look at the scores and you would see Reitzma, Stick and Stones, they won 9-3. If you didn't watch the game, if you didn't see the game, you would assume, oh, that was an easy game for them. That was a walkover, a very distinctive score, but that wasn't the case. The big score was because of the steal of 5 in the last end. But if you take out that end, it was very, very close. That was maybe for people that didn't watch the game, go watch it. It has tons of kind of plot twists and that kind of stuff. Bunny hops or the leapfrog moment. That kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. But I'm assuming maybe the same goes for Grey Ducks versus Housekeepers. Maybe we assume it was a walkover. We didn't get to watch that game, but who knows? Maybe they had a steal of 8 in the last end. We don't know for sure. But yeah,
Something tells me likely not.
Probably
but...
not. Probably not. No. But for this game, what would be your predictions here? If maybe like predictions for the semifinals, who would you pick for this game, and who would you pick in the other game? So what's your prediction for the finals here?
I think in this one, I'm going to take the 4 Pioneers. I just think they are a really strong team. They're going to be really tough. I'm expecting a really good match with the Housekeepers, but I'm going with the 4 Pioneers on this one.
Yeah.
And over in the other semifinal, I'm going to take the underdog. I'm going to go with Master Beta. I think just watching them play yesterday was they played super, and if they can stay at that level today, it's going to be a tough match for Team Reitzma. So my prediction for the finals: 4 Pioneers and the Master Beta.
Yeah. All right. I think I would follow your logic here with the 4 Pioneers. I think it's going to be a close match. I'm predicting a very close match. Both teams can win, but 4 Pioneers, I think they will end up on top in this game. I think Timo, the tactical choices maybe could make the difference, or team dynamics could make a difference. I don't know. With Thomas being replaced by Harry, Housekeepers isn't playing with their normal lineup, so I would give the advantage to 4 Pioneers, like you said. In the other game, you mentioned the Master Beeren being the underdog. I think maybe after seeing the game last night, Team Reitzma could be the underdog. Master Beeren have performed very, very solid, very strong tour. Excellent player, whereas Team Reitzma struggled a bit. They also mentioned that during the group stages they were top of the group, but they didn't play apparently their best curling. I'm still thinking they are saving their best performances and they're growing the tournament. So maybe I'll, just to have a kind of a different pick from you, I'll go for Team Reitzma, and then Team Reitzma and 4 Pioneers. They will meet in the finals.
All right. So with our predictions made, they've started the action. So we're going to go on out there and join them. So settle in with a nice beverage and a tasty croissant, and let's get into it.
Yes. Wow. And we enter with a bang here.
Let's see. We are on Jeroen's second stone. Trying to curl this one over to catch that yellow at the top. Ooh, catches more of their own. Just missed that top guard. Unfortunately, gets rid of both the reds.
Thomas. Thomas couldn't make it to play, but he's here at the stream, so you can be very critical about your replacement here, Gary. But Pim and John are wrong. Yeah, obviously you would root for the Housekeepers here. How do you think, Thomas, how do you think the Housekeepers will perform in this game? And are you, when looking at the game, are you a little bit kind of jealous for teammates?
We did miss it. They gave the Housekeepers the hammer.
Oh, yeah.
So that was Gary's second stone. So now it's going to be Myrta's first. Yep, there we go.
Yep, good catch.
All caught up. There we go. Now, but do I get to point out when Chad is wrong? Because Thomas spelled my name wrong.
Oh, yeah.
So Thomas is wrong. Hashtag that. See how you guys like it. Now, this is going to catch that, double it out the back. Very nice stone there from Myrta. Not an easy double there. Does a lot to improve the situation for him. Going to give that a little first click of the morning. On his way in. Good to see you. Whoa. Good, good, good. We love to have the curling fans here in the arena, in the rink. Can't call it arena. It's not that big or round.
The dome, the cathedral. Yeah, we didn't mention, but there is a third game on Shirei. That's a placement match.
This one is going to kick out the red and slides in behind that yellow. That's a good, nice shot as well. Really good touch there. Yep. Likes the double here, so a little outside in double. Gonna have to have some weight. Want this one on the nose. Ooh, this is gonna just curl over a little bit. Oof. Oh, just misses that one in the back. Housekeeper's going to look to get rid of that. Possibly roll over. Excuse me, hiccup. Roll over onto the button. So this morning, as opposed to the first 2 days, the matches today are all 8 ends. No timer, just play the 8 ends, get it done. So I think we're going to see a lot of thinking today. There's no pressure to get things done in a certain amount of time. These early ends, they're going to really want to try to establish their game plan. Gets the kind of nudge over, but that red jams on that yellow in the back. Timo wants to roll this one to the outside, keep the shooter in the house, but move it out to the outer edge. Oh, and I see over on sheet B, the Team Reitzma is sticking with the retro jackets they picked up yesterday.
Yep.
Although I see that Johanna already has hers unzipped, so she was saying yesterday that it was quite warm, especially when you have to sweep a lot, as she's been doing. So
yeah, she's a dedicated sweeper, almost at Team Reitzma, playing the lead stones and then sweeping all of the Euro stones. But this game also has a little bit of retro vibes with Mirte wearing the retro jackets. deciding not to wear the semi-official team jackets, which also have a little bit of a retro vibe.
Well, I think it's because Caro had to wear her jacket. I think she's cold this morning, so Myrta was wearing. Well, I think Myrta has one of Caro's shirts on underneath it, so she at least does have it. But yeah, Caro only has the one jacket. Needed to wear that herself. This one's gonna pop that red out of the back.
Nice. They keep the shooter, which is also always a good result here.
Yep.
Yeah, it says Spruit, but the man sliding over to the hack there is Timo Verreken, wearing Jeroen's jacket.
Like stuffed into Jeroen's jacket, more like it. A little bit of a size difference between the two. Good morning, Tim.
Morning, Tim.
Welcome back. Just in time for the last couple stones of the first end here. We've got 8 enders today, so semifinals and finals are both guaranteed 8 ends. Oh, this one needs to curl over. Gonna get it, but it's not going to stick. I don't know.
Is it really gonna be out of the house? It is.
Yeah, it gets it out of play. So
a fairly easy draw for one here for Housekeepers, which is of course a good result for the Pioneers.
Yep.
And
I think even if they had stuck the shooter on that one, it was still it would narrow the house down, but you'd still, I think, have the full 8 foot to draw at. So
yeah, the good thing is they have a stone in the house, so who knows, in the off chance that Housekeepers would leave the shorts, throw a tour, then they could steal one here.
Yeah, it's I would think with this fixed duration, it would probably a blank would be better, but I think sometimes it's hard to switch. You know, you've played the first 2 days of the tournaments with the time, and you're used to this, so no blanks. So, but I also know that Housekeepers, they have a tendency to take the points when they get them.
Yeah.
Don't play for too many blanks. Just like play for that early on. They're probably okay. I think if it was reversed, I think you would have seen Pioneers take blank in that situation. So some of it's just differing tactics. Different skips have different different tactics. Yeah, I mean that would be the advantage. You'd get the hammer in the even ends, and generally that's what you want. All right, as Kevin leads us off here for the Housekeepers at end number 2, he's going to be playing a center guard. I think for Housekeepers, knowing how tough, the Pioneers are to play, they're probably willing to take their points. They'd rather just get points on the board and get going. So very nice opening stone for the end from Kevin. Stays on the center line. No tick rule is in effect. Yeah, they have the draw weight now, so I think there's positives, pluses and minuses for both strategies. Pioneers being aggressive here, coming in behind that guard. Very nice stone from Caro. Very, very nice.
Nicely put behind the guard, in front of the tee, close to the pin. Close to perfection, basically.
Yep, clicked it. It's a very nice stone. May not be shot of the match, but is certainly worthy of review.
Yeah, appreciating those lead stones there. I mean, they're not as spectacular as those kind of race takeouts or double takeouts or crazy all or nothing shots. Sometimes you see later in an end, but in terms of execution, that was
Top
98%,
notch. Yeah.
99%.
This one is going to come up a little bit short. Taps against it. Sits on the center line now. It did move that other one off, but now it's an overlapped guard for Team Vareka, so that's actually an advantage for them. See, now they're going to come into the house over on the side with this next one. Really going to put some pressure on the Housekeepers here. It's going to carry a little bit deep. Sebastian going to be able to push that one through. Ooh, stays biting in the back of the house. Could be interesting later. These things always come back to find a way to come back into play. Housekeepers coach Gary coming in with his first stone of the second end. Looking to try to draw in behind everything. Seems to be a bit on the heavier side.
It feels heavy indeed.
Yep. Timo sweeps it through and out of play. And you see him discussing, looking at the watch and saying, oh, maybe this and that, and there is a rumor floating around that it's Jeroen's birthday today.
Today?
Or it was sometime this weekend. He brought a cake in today. So, and it's tradition here in Belgium to bring a cake when it's your birthday instead of other people buying you cake, but so it stacks up over that red in the back. Tim's saying the excess rotation on that stone. Watch time may have looked good, but the extra rotation, yeah, you're right. It does, the rotation matters, and if it's a little bit too much, it'll carry further. And we didn't quite see the curl on that stone either. So yeah, that generally means there's a little bit extra rotation. It doesn't have a chance to really cut. Housekeeper's going to look to open this up now. Try to get rid of their own stones, or are they going to hack weight and go around it?
I think they're going to throw a rocket and open things up. It's not super hard though.
Yeah, with where the broom was. Yeah, they're trying to at least just get rid of one of these yellows there. Ooh, maybe they can get this one on the nose. No, that was actually a promotion attempt.
Okay.
Not a bad effort there. I mean, that was a really tight one. You had to be, had to get really close to that other yellow. Does push it into second shots, so it's going to take those back stones out of play. It is sitting kind of out in the open. Going for a hack weight here. Need to get this one around it. Sweeping hard. Hear the yelling. Oh, very nice stone there.
Excellent stone, yeah.
Gets rid of it. Gets rid of the yellow. Tucks it in behind the guards. Very good stone.
It was really a team effort there. Watching the line, making sure to sweep in time.
Oh, yes, sir, Tim. That is clicked. Definitely click-worthy on that. Jeroen, whenever we cover like the Team Vareka or the Four Pioneers, Jeroen has often got several click-worthy shots in a match. He is definitely one of the top players here in Belgium. He often plays fourth for his own team, so it's kind of interesting seeing him play in the second position here. But he is good at whatever position he plays. Trying to run this, just gonna run over just a little bit. Does jam on that back red, so at least it sits in the house. They've got something possibly to work with, but sitting fourth behind a red's not going to be easy to bring that one into play. Well, speaking of Jeroen playing second, that's one of the things that Team Vareka does is they often rotate their players. They like to try to give them opportunities to play at every position, so they have that feeling if they're ever asked to, based on somebody's got a hotter hand at playing at the end or at the front, they can move people around how they feel it would work best for them. So it's a big advantage for them. Timo calling for the curl, wants to get this one over. Gouden Carolus getting over there. Nicely done. Looking for a run back here. Yeah, they should have some serious weight behind it. There's the big push. Yeah, maybe release a little bit outside. No, it needs to be a little bit, so that'll catch
just one.
Just one there.
Those are the type of stones Sebastian likes to throw. Those very hard ones, race takeouts.
Yeah, I think that had the weight for the triple, just unfortunately a little bit outside on the release, I think. And now we're just going to see a replay of the last stone, just try to tuck this over in front of this, another guard. Leave it high just to the right side of that center line, but I'm seeing it's gonna over curl a little bit. Should still end up in a nice enough position.
A little bit of discussion there.
Ooh.
I think they were unsure about the sweeping. They wanted to sweep it in, but maybe they waited too long. And then
I'm not sure. It's
a very good guard.
Yep. Still slightly offset, and trying to get this one to curl. No, this is gonna catch. Oh, runs it, gets one back. I think I was hearing somebody scream for curl on the other ice instead of instead of this one.
But actually, yeah, semi-happy with this one. I mean, they didn't manage to get two stones out. We're still looking at 3 stones for the Pioneers. And they have a hammer.
Yeah, you see Jeroen talking about the split, so they're going to try to draw it in behind the yellows, but if it's too hard and it hits that red in the off the left there, then it will split them over, and that'll be also okay. So explaining to Karo and Jeroen what he wants to do, what he expects from them.
In the other semi-final, they already started end number 3. We have a 1-1 tie there so far.
That's the Team Reitsma against the Master Beerde.
Yep.
This one, I think, is going to kind of touch that red. Nope, there it starts to curl. So, ooh, a little bit heavy there.
Yep.
Heavy, but inside.
Now that leaves a little bit of a pocket for Housekeepers to draw. If they manage to put one on the pin with those backing stones, or maybe just in front of the pin.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, you have those two reds. The second, or the shot stone is sitting back of the forefoot.
Yeah.
So lots of room. And the way the ice has been curling, there's lots of room for them to draw over and get behind those yellow guards as well.
If they freeze it against that shot stone, then they force Pioneers potentially to just take one with a very good freeze or draw. This one looks very wide here. Very wide. It needs to curl a lot if they...
Trying to get this to curl so it rolls over, but it's going to nose hits.
It's definitely too wide. It is sitting... Yeah, I don't know if it's sitting second, but I don't think that'll matter that much since it's that open. Pioneers will just take it out and potentially score 4 here. That was an unfortunate miss for Brecht.
Yep.
He had a chance to steal here, but that stone was wide from the start.
Yeah, opportunity here for Pioneers to score a big end. Them saying from the end so far, it seems like it isn't curling as much as yesterday. Lower ice temperature, maybe. Yeah, it's possible. I didn't check the temperature inside. It felt okay, but also it's early. So, and we haven't seen any of the 9:30 matches so far this weekend. So it's possible that in the early matches, the ice is still a little bit cold because the temperature's not gotten up there yet. So. Yeah. It could be.
Also, the weight was quite heavier. It really tapped the red one.
Yeah, we're seeing that. They were saying this yesterday to us that if the weight isn't quite right, it just carries past the break point, and then you just see so much less curl. So could be just they haven't had anybody in there. The ice temperature, the air temperature inside isn't as warm after a couple of rounds of play. So. Opportunity here for a big house for the Pioneers.
Might jam there.
Unfortunately, gets out. They do score 3. Unfortunately, took out that other red, so it could have been 4. But hey, 3 is a big house.
3 is still a big house, yeah.
Give 1, take 3. I'd play that. I play that anyway, so I pick that anytime. Good end there from the Pioneers. Really put the pressure on Earthquake.
I managed to just shift camera angles to avoid that little earthquake here. And Timo always coaching, always giving feedback, and that's I think one of the strengths of the team.
Yep. Yes, they're always doing something or paying attention to every stone, trying to get better. even during the match. Not going to wait till after to have a retrospective. It's straight into it. All right, going straight for the pin with this first one. So as we start end number 3, Pioneers lead Housekeepers 3-1 after that big second end there for them. See, that's where your sign wouldn't work. Whenever somebody rushes in and out during a match, they're not going to pay attention to the sign and say, no, don't slam the door. This one just didn't curl at all. Not really that it was heavy, just, okay, maybe got out wide and maybe that's where the pebble ends, so it just kind of stayed out on the edge of the pebble. Mostly what they do, and having played with Jeroen and Timo in a tournament before, is mostly what they're doing is just kind of saying, okay, this is what happened, or we need you to react a little bit more, or they just talk about things. It's nothing like, oh, you've got to really change your tactics, or no huge fundamental mechanic changes. No, it's just really like, pay attention to this. So here's the break point, or if we get out on this path, it stays out there kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think that's also in the first 2 ends. One of the main objectives as a team is break down the conditions of the ice, try to figure out where the break points are, how much it curls. And team struggled with it on the C sheet. I remember Team Reitsma mentioning that yesterday. Like they had some troubles figuring out the ice, knowing where to put the broom.
No, definitely nothing like that. I remember playing with them, and I just wasn't used to like the intensity of some of the things they do. So like they reminded me, it's like when they say sweep. Don't wait, count a beat, don't do anything, drop your watch, start sweeping, and just sweep hard till they tell you to stop. So
don't ask why, just put the broom on the ice and start sweeping.
Yep. But they were also trying to give me a heart attack in that tournament, so maybe maybe it wasn't so positive reinforcement. This one will get around that guard. Actually, should pick this out. Might roll too much.
Yeah.
Gonna peek out the other side, but it does stay in the house. And I believe that, that red is also still biting the house in the back there. So just a little bit of an overcurl. Didn't quite have the solid connection it needed to get the red out of the house and stay behind the guards there. Timo wasting no time, doesn't care this one's behind the T line, want to get it out of there. Don't leave them anything in the house. Sometimes the best strategy isn't necessarily trying to get yours closer to the pin. It's just to try to play your opponent's stones out so they can't score.
Yeah. Keep control of the ends. Make sure you have control over the situation. There's nothing left to chance. No lucky shots or stones that somehow end up in a scoring position.
So they're going for a hit and roll here, but they're playing at a stone that's behind the tee, so that means their shooter is going to be behind the tee no matter what, and that's not always a strong position. It's rarely a strong position to be in if you're trying to score. They do have the hammer, but defending the stones behind the tee line almost feels like a missed opportunity. This one's going to get it out. Jams on that back one, though, so they do get one out, but not the one they wanted. And the shooter's sitting out in the open, so... Timo indicating a roll to the outside or even just a nose hit would be fine. Maybe slightly off nose towards the outside would be ideal. Trying to get this one to curl over. It's going to catch it, but I don't think that the shooter is going to stay in the house. This one's going to go. But they get the yellow out, and that's important. Yep. See, there's the coaching. Just a little bit outside on the release, just so they know.
Yeah, that constant feedback helps to have kind of a fair, objective opinion, like was I off?
Yeah.
So you can adjust and make sure your next tone is better and the next tone is better.
Going for a back line here. They just want to tap it out, but you see the Sebastian thought it was outside, and the sweepers say it's heavy, so this one's not going to curl back in. They probably should have tried sweeping for curl a lot sooner, but yeah, that one just goes by outside.
And that could be a costly miss here because with this miss, they really lose control over the end.
Yep.
They're in the chasing game, and that's not where you want to be.
Timo looking at his options here. I think they're going to draw in behind that yellow, try to take advantage of that guard, use it for themselves. Myrta, that is correct. That is how you spell her name. Don't know if this one's going to curl over enough, but just top of the house is fine. Now, I was talking with Timo yesterday about their name, the Four Pioneers, or I talked to him on Friday, and there's no pun or anything hidden in that, but then we were talking about, other possible team names, and then he remembered that they should have used Myrtle and the Turtles. It was a joke name we came up with like earlier in the season, just hanging out one night after a club night, and they forgot about it, and they could have used it as this because they said they struggled to find a good name for the tournament. He said they might just start going back to like team last name again.
But they had like no ID or no team going on with the Four Pioneers. That was just
Well, they feel, he said the Pioneers, it was a bit more of a, we want to push the game forward and we want to go to new places, take things out of the past and go to the, to new frontiers.
Oh yeah.
So that's how they came up with it. But yeah, he admits it's.
Then they should have called themselves the Four Colonists, because colonists would go over to new territory and mark their land there. And also,
yeah, but
Timor likes to play the colonists of Catan. So. And
settlers.
Or
of
settlers,
Catan.
yeah, settlers.
But
in Dutch it's called colonists, but they
yeah.
need settlers. The four settlers, that would be a nice name, maybe.
No. No, not really.
Oh yeah, and in English it might sound like you settle for mediocrity or a
little bit, yeah. And colonists is kind of a
colonist is a no-go.
Kind of a dirty word at this
especially
point.
in Belgium, but
yeah,
just in Europe in general, you don't want to be associated.
Oh, nice stone there from Housekeepers. Good freeze position. Locked up against that one, behind a guard.
Yeah, very good one.
Yeah, we have clicked that. For sure. Going for a PO8.
Sometimes I wonder, we over here skips making calls, but we have better sound quality on the ice, and sometimes I wonder if the viewers at home can also hear those skip calls.
Yeah, in theory, it should be the same. What we hear is what they hear, but not always the case, because I know sometimes we can hear the sweeping, but I've looked back at some of the replays, and you don't always pick up the sweeping on the replay in the video. So that clears it open a little bit. It's going to force Housekeepers to do something to cover up that yellow, or are they just going to leave it and say, let's hope that the backing there will kind of do it?
So Tim says, is this team composition for the Pioneers something they're maybe considering to send to a mixed championship in the future? Well, yes, it actually is.
That is, yep. That's their intention is next season. They're going to play some, they have intentions to play some mixed tournaments and possibly try to go to the European Mixed Championship. As of now, they're the only mixed team in Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they are also legitimately a good team. They would be a tough team to beat. So it's not just because they're the only team that they're the defaults to go. I think if we had a challenge series, they would certainly be one of the favorite to win that series.
I mean, they have the three skips of the other national teams combined in one team. The skip of the junior team, skip of the men's team, and skip of the women's team. So
yeah, and the non-skip is one of the best players in the country. So it's a
the non-skip is considered the club champion and one of the best players here in Belgium. So
yep.
Timo is trying to contest that this season. He wants to make a nice speech in a couple of weeks.
I believe it's this week. 24th is the final round of the club championship, and so Timo and Jeroen will face each other head to head. And so for those of you who don't know out there, like our club championships, we hold them every 3 weeks, and it's random teams. So the first half of the season, so up until about Christmas, you show up, you draw a card, and the card tells you what team you're going to be on and then what team you're going to play against. And then after Christmas, they start putting the teams together based on your current ranking in the week. So it's still kind of random, but it still tries to spread out the strengths of the team a little bit more fairly. And then depending on how your team does, you get points for that week, and then the top 10 results are counted. I think we have 12 rounds, so the top 10 count, and then there's the final round, which is worth double. And it's so our club champion isn't necessarily the best player. It's the player who's had the best season, as far as playing with random teams. Oh, this is a really nice one.
Excellent one here.
Peels that one off.
What a stone. And it really crushes all of the hope for Housekeepers to get a gain in this end here.
Yep. I mean, they do have that yellow biting in the back of the house, but it's sitting fourth shot, so...
Yeah, it's back to the drawing boards.
Yep. Need to hit and roll here. Got to get this one just right to have a chance at scoring multiple in this end.
Yeah. A good hit and roll can put them back in the front seat, of course.
Trying to get this one a curl. It looks like it's going to get around that top guard. No. Oh, I was wrong. They were trying to hold it straight. I missed
it. Yeah. They didn't want it to curl. And disappointment here with Brecht. That was an important stone, and you could feel, it was so close. So close, sorry. Hope.
Let me talk, kid. Yeah, Pim is starting to lose his voice, starting to get a little bit sick, so he needs to rest his voice. Mine's a little rough from just talking so loud last night, having a good time at the beer tasting, but I'll be fine. I'll push through. The teams that are formed, they kind of decide. And you often see teams like Timo, normally he's a skip, but he'll often defer to others because he just likes playing other positions and he likes it to be fun instead of, being super serious all the time. So it seems like a lot of people when they get paired up with Timo, they kind of try to make him skip because he does tactics quite well. And it is a lot of fun. It is fun getting paired with different people, and you do know certain styles of the different club members, so it's but you can be paired up with guys like Timo and Jeroen who are like play at the Europeans, and also along with players that have just started this year and only have like a few months or less of curling, so it makes for some very entertaining matchups.
Yeah, it's a great learning opportunity to get paired up with experienced players, because they would give you feedback not only on tactics, but also on your
On form. Yep. Yeah, we do have players that they want to learn to be skip. So a lot of times people, I've done it as well with newer players that are trying to learn to be skip. Let them skip, be vice. Timo does it, Jeroen as well. They're more than happy to give advice and let the other people call their matches. So we've got a team in the league, the Daddy's Cool. They just finished their first year of competitive curling, and actually finished second in the B division, got promoted to A. A little bit faster than they expected, but so their skip is very new. He's learning a lot, so he likes to talk to everybody, and he either plays vice or skip when these club nights happen, so he can learn a lot more. This one's going to go down. It's going to freeze up against, and so
nice stone here.
Very good stone.
1 yellow.
1 point for the Housekeepers. So good end for Pioneers there, controlling things, not letting Housekeepers build up. So now it seems like it's a good idea for Housekeepers to take that one in the first end, just to make sure that they got some what do you call it? Points on the board. That's it.
Yeah, then we have quite the luxurious position here in Belgium to have an A division, a B division, and next year our Belgium Curling League will grow even more, with more teams from other countries joining, and the plan is to even split the B division in 2 groups, because we will have more teams trying to compete for promotion. So probably next year we'll have an A division, and then
two B divisions with playoffs, with B promotion playoffs and everything. So right now, this year we had teams from France, Luxembourg. The first half of the season we had the Netherlands, but unfortunately they had to drop out for the second half. And of course Belgium. But next season we're going to have France again, Luxembourg, Germany, possibly the Netherlands, and possibly England.
Yeah, possibly
teams from coming in.
Team from England as well. And over on sheet B, we have an intermediate result there. Team Reitsma is leading 3-1 over the Master Beer, and so far my prediction still holds.
Still early over there. It's only the 4th end.
Only the 4th end, yeah, that's true.
And since there's 8, it's not this sprint of 6, or even the super sprint we had last weekend with 4.
Oh yeah, 4 is just a bit too short to actually have a good reflection of a game.
This one is a bit wide, and with the less curl, it's curling a lesson this morning, that's going to stay out exposed. Gonna get that to the back of the forefoot. Oh yeah, Tim, that would be great. So what we do for like the foreign teams is they'll schedule a block of games on a weekend, so they don't have to come up very often. So like our team from Viry, which is just south of Paris, they were scheduled 2 weekends, so they had 7 matches in their pool. So they played the first one, 4 matches in 1 weekend, and then about a month later they came up for the last 3. But it did also mean that they were done with their season in February and had to wait until the end of April, beginning of May to find out how they finished.
Look at this stone here.
Very nice stone. Great
What
position.
a nice stone. Excellent. nicely put behind the guard, in front of the tee, very close to the pin there, and that really put some pressure on Pioneers.
Currently, the Portuguese national teams are in Canada, based in Canada, so not realistic. Yeah, that would be tough. That would be tough. We did have a mixed doubles team from Spain come up to train, and their coach was from Canada, so he flew over here to kind of coach them for the weekend. It was before the World Championships a year or two ago. Ooh, this one also staying a bit wide. A little on the heavy side. Is that going to creep out the back? Nope, still biting there on the back edge of the house. But we often have teams coming up to train here because a lot of them used to go to Switzerland to train before the Worlds and things, but they found the ice was too expensive and often already booked in a lot of places. So a lot of teams go there. So they found out we have a dedicated ice, and they'll come up and they'll train. They'll rent it out and train. And we've talked with a few of them about the possibility of streaming privately their training sessions so they can work with their coaches, or they can at least show their coaches, hey, this is what we're doing. So for example, the mixed doubles from Spain, that they don't have to have their coach fly over. He can watch everything from Canada and, give them his feedback and advice.
Yeah, remember that was last year, I'm guessing April, and that was also the first time we rented our nice new cameras, and we were training with our new equipment as well. And we had the fortunate luck that we had that Spanish team training all weekend, so there was a lot of content on the ice we could use to calibrate our cameras, try our angles, our focus.
Oh, this is another great stone here.
Excellent.
That's going to freeze right up against that red. Oh, little tap, but such a nice stone. Yeah,
beautiful stone. The Housekeepers are not out of this race yet. They're fighting back.
We went to Zoetermeer a couple of times. Yeah, that's the only other dedicated ice anywhere near here. So, yeah, that's we often get teams. They get teams as well going and training there just to try to get some dedicated ice. Yeah, we like to see the Housekeepers putting some pressure on Pioneers. Let's see what happens here. This one's a little bit inside, just going to peel off that top guard, though. Still opens it up, but a little bit of an inside release there from Jeroen. But originally thought Timo was asking for hack weight, but maybe I guess he changed his mind. So opportunity here for Housekeepers. Yes. It's that is correct, Tim.
We can see also Thomas has arrived here at the venue to come and root for his team. Yeah, we have him up on the TV, so as we mentioned that, we can we saw him look back.
He hears us talking.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit heavier than they would have liked. Not going to get that high guard. Is going to end up on that center line.
Nice guards. Excellent guard.
Good position, yeah.
There.
Yep. All right. Timo looking at possible triple here. He wants some weight behind it.
And this is a very heavy one.
Oh, and he gets it.
What a stone.
Amazing.
Oh my.
All three gone. What a triple.
What a stone there.
And Jeroen just, yeah.
He's
I've
so
done that
casual
before.
about it, yeah.
I've done that before. He probably finding something he did wrong with it. It's like, oh,
I
it
don't
was a
hate
little
it.
bit outside, yeah. Oof.
All right, and what a reset for this end. We were just mentioning Housekeepers were fighting back. They had a perfect setup here,
And then
we
suddenly, Joris is in the house. Good morning. And Tim, that's how it is playing against like Jeroen and Timo. When it's no setup is safe. These guys will find like the tiniest little hole and get through it. And this one was no exception. It's not a surprise. It's still an amazing shot, but it's hardly a surprise for any of us who've seen these guys play before. But Housekeepers coming right back with a great stone, putting it in a good position behind the guard, in a shot position.
Yeah, all 8 stones count. On this level, you can depend on throwing a couple of good stones in an end. You have to perform well back to back the entire ends. Lead player has to execute, but also the fourth has to seal the deal.
They're trying to run this one back. I think it's going to over curl a bit. And so they're just going to try to split it off. Ooh, and oh, it does hit the yellow. Okay. I thought that was going to miss it wide, but does catch it. They lose the red. The shooter sits in the middle, but it pushes that yellow out in the open, so it's going to force Housekeepers to protect it. See, Caro has warmed up. She now has taken the jacket off.
Yeah. It's a big difference if you have to sweep. And then you know it's not a game, it's a sport.
There it goes. Now you see it. It hits the logo. That's the break point. Just trying to make sure this gets down. They don't want this to over curl.
That's fine.
Covers it up. You see Timo saying, "Let's run it back." Not an easy run back. There is still a bit of distance between the two stones, but a solid nose hit will send both of those out of the house. All right, we've got an update from Sheet A, and I believe that's our
Placement game.
placement 7th place match.
Stick and Stones versus Grey Ducks.
Yeah, Grey Ducks are leading 5-0 in the 4th end. Need to make sure this gets around that guard.
And there's a
little bit of an over curl, but does move it out of the way, keeps it open.
Yellow still shot, but a very nice shot there.
Now it does give something for Housekeepers to draw behind, and that's what they're looking to do. I think we're behind the stone since this is Breck's first.
Oh, yeah.
Next season we'll have it hooked to my clicker, so I'll be in charge of going next to the next stone. This one looks a bit heavy. Yeah, this one's gonna... Yeah, Timo's gonna sweep this one, try to get it further back, possibly through the house, and does go out the back, so... Opportunity lost there for the Housekeepers. You see Brecht's not happy with it.
Oh.
Good thing he had his back turn, or that could have been a swear jar.
And we couldn't lip read that one. It was probably something like Darnish or...
Whoopsie daisy.
Yeah, whoopsie daisy.
That reminds me of from the movie Notting Hill, where Hugh Grant is climbing over a fence and slips and says "whoopsie daisy," and she goes, "Did you just say whoopsie daisy?" No, because I'm not a 12-year-old girl. And then he falls again and says it again.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking of the and in South Park where you would have the character Butters, and then if he's disappointed, he would say, "Oh, hamburgers."
Yeah.
I like the way Brecht also has this the blonde hair.
Yeah.
Maybe he's the Butters of the Desperate Housekeeper saying, "Oh, hamburgers." Gonna get grounded again for not throwing his stone. Update from the other final. Master Baron scored 1. So Reitsma leading 3-2 halfway in their semis.
I'm just trying to clean up this yellow one, gets rid of it. I think they would have liked a nose hit, but probably not terrible that it rolls out the side. I think they were trying to hit and roll to the inside, but the fact that it doesn't sit out there doesn't give Housekeepers anything to hit and roll themselves. So now they're forced to draw this one, get up behind those reds. They want this one behind the guards in front of the tee line. Really on the brim, trying to get this one to curl over.
Seems light.
Oh, it's going to come up a little bit short.
Ooh. That is just too light. Another hamburger moment there. So unfortunate.
Decision time for Timo. Do they try to get that yellow one out to score more? I think they're just going to try to go around, score 2.
Yeah, they're sitting 1. Why not score 2? Take 2. Give 1.
Yep.
Yeah, and Housekeepers, they were sitting so strong halfway. Just before Jeroen cannonballed all of their 3 stones out of the house.
Yeah.
Jeroen, the pioneer, but also the cannoneer.
Oh, this one might be too heavy.
I think Housekeepers, they could use a lucky break here. Sebastian is going to sweep it all away. Doesn't have to be completely out, but it is, and that's 1 red.
Rare mistake for Timo there. He's not going to be happy leaving one on the ice, but they extend their lead as they head into the 5th end, leading 4-2 over the Housekeepers. You know, I've been sneaking peeks over at Sheet B, and it seems like it's been a really tight match over there. Lots of stones in play. Good tactics going on. Arrow is going to lead us off as we start end number 5, the second half of the match. Timo wanting top of the 4-foot. Yeah, that did seem like it had quite a lot of handle on it, Tim. It certainly didn't help. Timo indicating a little bit wide. But that's going to curl over nicely. Sweepers bringing that in right to where they wanted it. Just inside the 8. Maybe they wanted it a little bit deeper, but I think that's still a 4 for me.
Yeah, that's very decent. Very decent.
Housekeepers playing this one out wide. A little bit on the lighter side, so it's going to have a lot more curl, so they're trying to hold this straight. Yeah, doesn't get as deep as they like, so a little bit high on that corner. Timo coming back with a guard over the red. Timo indicating it's still a bit outside. I need to try to curl it. Well, on the heavy side. Not going to set up a double. It is hard to tell if that one is in the house or not. They're taking a look at it. I think it might just be out. Yeah, I think it's outside. Because I think if it was in the house, I think they would have tried for that double. Yeah, Gary just coming up and getting clarification. Sometimes you get so many teams yelling in there, it can be hard to hear. You get the echoes and other people yelling. So, gonna try to hack weight, get this second one out without touching the guard. Ooh. Gotta hold this one straight. If they do that, this is gonna be pretty good. Oh, that looks nice. Gonna get around that guard. And it has just enough weight to get out of the house. Nice stone there from Kevin.
Yep.
Timo says, thank you very much. We're gonna hit and roll, punt back underneath our own guard. Trying to hold this one, keep it on the side.
Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful shot there.
Sticks out, but that's. I think Timo said he called a bit too late for that line, but that was still well executed.
Yeah. All right, so fifth stone of the end has been played, so now Housekeepers can go after this one. That's exactly what they are going to do. Got to double these out. Immediate call for sweep, though. I want to make sure this one nose hits.
And they're out.
And they're gone. Nice stone from Gary there. We'll click that one. Very good. Nice classic double take out there.
Yeah, and he's very excited about that one. This was It's good to be a bit wide. Needs to curl.
It's going to go at the end, but not sure it's... Ooh, there it goes.
Ooh,
there it
nice.
goes.
Very nice.
Nice stone there. slightly deep. It does end up a little bit behind the tee line, but still is protected by that guard. Let's see, if I'm a Housekeepers here, I'm trying to do that exact same shot. I'm just trying to draw around, get behind my guard, and freeze up against it. It'll still leave it a little bit behind the tee line, but you'll have something locked in place, so... We're going for backline here. This one's going to clear around the guard, I think. I try to curl this over, get on it. Moves the red out into the open. Hard to say who shot, though. Both those stones look really close, even on the overhead. Probably yellow.
Yeah, my guess would be yellow. But that stone is probably not going to stay there very long.
Nope. You see Timo sitting it up. Oh, this one looks a bit outside as I peek in through the glass. They're going to try to curl this over. Catches it solid enough, stays in the house. You've got 2 stones for Pioneers sitting there in the back of the house. You know, Housekeepers aren't going to really do anything with them. Can't really afford to do anything with them. Could come into play, though, when it comes time to score. See, the sign won't stop them.
No.
We just have to get that little... I'm going to the hardware store as soon as the season is over. I'm going to find something that will stop them from slamming the door.
Or we could mount our cameras on the ceiling where they belong. And then that's also a problem solved.
Yeah.
But now we're just trying to look at... pay attention to somebody opening or closing the door, and then making sure we use the other camera angle to avoid those.
Just going to sneak around that guard. Just ticks it a little bit light, so just short of the house. Just short of the house, so Timo might opt to leave those there. Yep, that's exactly what he's doing. He's going to leave them there for... uses a guard, try to draw in behind them. No. Oh. Yelled.
Yeah.
Yelled too loud. And it... Sweeping this one for line. Looks okay, so now they're just going to let this curl around behind those guards.
Ooh, nice curl.
Just going to end up a touch deep, yeah. Looking at possibly tapping one of these yellows back. They've got backing there, so we'll kind of keep things frozen. Feels a bit outside. Trying to get this to curl over.
Good promoter, Yellowstone, but angle's not good enough for that.
No. Ooh, I think it might have pushed it just a little bit too far outside, so red is still shot. This one does sit in the open. Yeah, Tim, that was a strange call. I would have thought that they know the line, they know the draw path, but maybe they're just afraid of they've been a little bit short on some of those draws, so maybe they weren't happy with that. Yeah, personally, I would have gone for the draw, opted for the draw over the tap back. And you see Timo picking up a little bit of dirt, so maybe I think there's some dirt on that outside line. I think we're just going to see seen some of them just not curl at all in previous ends. Seems like it's sensitive to not having the correct weight. Yeah, that is a concern there. So if you're just a little bit outside, maybe that's if you're on the path, it's going to curl. But if you're not and you don't have the right weight, yeah, it doesn't break like it needs to. So
yeah, you could hear Timo indeed say it's tricky ice. It's very hard.
I think they're going to play this with some pace just so they don't have to worry too much about the line. America calling for the curl. Ooh.
And this puts yellow in a shot position there, so bit of a miss here.
Yeah, and frozen up against that red, so that's kind of locked in place. Huge opportunity here for Housekeepers to do something. Yeah, uncharacteristic miss there from Timo. But when you're throwing with some weight, if you're a little bit outside, especially on that ice they said is already difficult, it just didn't move at all. Yeah, I think this is the right call.
Yeah, and this puts that Yellowstone in a very strong position. It's behind the guards. It has the protection or the freeze from that redstone, so they could maybe score 2 points in the end, depending on...
Yeah, they'll be in a good position if they can get this one in a similar position just above the 4 foot will be really nice. But even if it's heavy, they've got the backing there.
Yeah.
They can freeze up against those stones.
Should they try to block something just to try and avoid the Pioneers from throwing a good draw shot and then scoring the second point with their last stone, their hammer stone?
Yeah, could be. I think this is what they should be doing. This one seems a little bit heavy. Trying to get this into curl, but it just doesn't out there. It just seems like that's right on the line where there's just not as much curl until it gets closer to the house, but this is going to freeze up against it. That's going to be a nice play. I really like that one.
I like it, yeah. Setting 2. Since it's more exposed, it leaves an option to maybe just hit it on the inside and roll towards the pin and become a shot stone.
Yeah.
Freeze up against it.
Yeah, they have opportunity. It is behind the tee, so it's still not like a great position. But
no, but I think Pioneers like that stone. For them, it's a useful stone. I think they prefer the house with that stone than without it. So the Housekeepers maybe gave them a better situation now to throw their last stone. But as Timo mentioned, it's tricky ice.
Yep. As Tim's pointing out, he says it seems to be falling outside a bit. Yeah, I think it seems like the there's a line in the pebble where that kind of stops and just forces things a bit to the outside.
Yeah, the art is in the execution, and at least Housekeepers are setting 2, so there's a little bit of pressure. If this stone is wide, or if he misses, Housekeepers could end up scoring 3 here.
Yeah.
Don't want to get ahead of the curve, but
Yeah, I don't think they're going to really want to try to move those yellows very far. But they're also looking now, do they have this option coming up here in the middle because they have a pocket? Yeah, Timo's saying he's really not happy with that ice on the outside, that if they don't get the right line, it won't come back in. So
yeah, drawing in that pocket could also be strong. Maybe that's the right call to rethink.
Yeah, but Mert is staying on that over there, so I think they've decided they're going to come up that outside.
Either way, a very important stone.
Yep.
If he succeeds, puts Pioneers in a very strong position going in the next hand. If he misses somehow, that could really bring Housekeepers back in the game. A tie or maybe a leapfrog.
This line looks okay.
Needs to curl. Jeroen is sweeping.
He's trying. It just doesn't seem to want to come
Feels
back.
wide. It feels wide. It has to curl a lot.
There it goes. It's very late curl.
Very late curl, yeah.
But there we go. Very nice
it's
stone.
sitting shot there. Excellent stone. Excellent stone. For a moment there, I was worried it wouldn't curl enough, but luckily for them, it did.
Hi, Bjorn is asking for a live result overview of the other games. We don't have anything posted online, but we can give you a quick update. So, in Sheet B, in the other semifinal, Team Reitsma leads over the Master Beer 4-2, and they are in the 6th end. And over in our 7th place match, Grey Ducks lead Stick and Stones 5-1. They are in the 5th end there. Had a lot of back and forth in that other semifinal. Each team taking an end, alternating taking ends. So
I'm assuming Björn Schroeder is watching and rooting for Team Reitsma to reach the final here. That's my guess. We don't know for sure, of course. As we look at Sebastian and Gary looking at angles here. And Gary opted to run back that yellow guard there. Could be an option if they're able to run it back and tap out the red one or give it a little nudge. They can still score 3. So there's an option here for Housekeepers to score 3. There is no time pressure. There's no clock.
I mean, the finals do have to start at 1:15, but, you know, that's about it. I think we've got time for that. But definitely trying to figure out how they can they possibly score multiples here?
Yeah, and they're looking at scoring 3 here. It's just a matter of figuring out the weight, where to put the broom. They're going for hack weight, controlled weight. And if the shot lands, it's potentially the shot of the match, not only in terms of execution, but also in terms of kind of game changing moment here.
Brings them back in right now. They're looking at a steal of 1
versus scoring 3. That's a 4-point difference here.
Even if they're not able to get that red away, they could still score 1 themselves. So
at least they.
Oh, this one's inside. They got to let it go, so it's going to try to curl onto that.
It's starting to find a girl. It looks nice. Oh, maybe it overcurled. It overcurled, and now red will steal 1. And I think maybe sweeping mistake there, not trusting.
Well,
the
they were
line
trying.
there, or-
No, they were trying to go around the stone, and it was inside. So then he told them off because he wanted them to hit it nose, but then didn't get them back on enough to hit it on the nose. So it over curled for them, and so steal of one for the Pioneers, and another hamburger moment for for Brecht.
Yeah, for Brecht.
He's not going to be happy with that one. You can see it on his face.
His attempt was good, and with the way this ice curls, it was so tricky to call these lines. Kind of know when to sweep, when to stop sweep. I think the the devil was in the detail of those line calls.
Yep. I think he was a little bit inside with the and maybe didn't have quite the weight that they wanted. I thought it felt like it was a little bit lighter than what they needed, but it's over. They got to move on to the next end. And as we start end number 6, Caro is going to lead us off. The Pioneers leading 5-2 over the Housekeepers. Housekeepers running out of ends here. It's not out of reach yet, but
No.
they need to start taking advantage of their hammer.
Yeah. Pioneer scored a 3 house. Imagine Housekeepers doing the same. We're back in a tight position here.
Yep.
But they're on the clock.
Nice stone from Caro right there in the middle of the 8-foot. Just trying to put up a corner guard here. Just trying to let's make sure this gets over. Gets down deep. Yeah, good position for that. Just on that outer tram track there. A scotch high, but not that far out of play. Still
What is a
quite
scotch?
usable. A scotch is a little bit.
Is it also a body part?
Nope.
You never know with the imperial system.
They're wanting this one to curl over. As it slows down, it's going to start to curl, but was it too wide to start? It's going to come up right on top. Just enough of a gap there. Double's possible, but yeah, I think Housekeepers need to get stones in position more than they need to play takeouts. This one's going to curl over nicely. It's just a matter on the weight. I think this one's going to carry just past the tee.
Wow. I like it. I like this one.
Technically, one edge was past the tee, so
Yeah, but
still not. It stopped on the tee line. Yeah, it's a good shot. It's a very nice position. Timo likes the. Let's just go at it. They could potentially get a hit and roll back underneath their reds here.
yeah, I think that was the call indeed.
I'm going to try to make this one curl. There it goes. Ooh, it's curling a lot. Calling for line.
And it overcurled. But will it promote? Nope. Well, on the bright side, it's cleared the guard, so the shot stone is now losing its guard protection, so it's looking at things.
And those reds are a little less staggered, so going to be a little bit trickier to get a double. Actually, a double would potentially run the red onto the yellow, so not an easy situation here for Housekeepers. Sweeper's working to hold this one hard. Oh, and that's the worst case. It gets over, runs the red back on there. They do get rid of 2 reds.
Yeah, was it that bad?
Shooter stays in the house and behind a guard. Red is still shot, but it's sitting out in the open. Timo's not going to worry about that. Maybe wants to do a takeout here.
Another cannonball coming in.
Trying to make it curl. Oof. Misses it, but I think that's okay. It opens it up. Not what they were going for. They wanted to get rid of both of them, but I think splitting it, peeling off that guard, is going to make it more difficult for Housekeepers to build up anything behind it. I think we might see a hit and roll here from Housekeepers. Try to get it over underneath their yellow and get rid of this red one. This one's going to be a little bit on the outer edge. Probably a nose hit, though. Nose a little bit outside. All right, Martha being given 2 options, hit and roll, but a nose hit is not the end of the world here. Trying to get this one to curl over. I don't think it's going to. Nose hit, stays in there, sit shot. Let's see what Housekeepers do. I think they're going to try to get rid of this red, roll over underneath their own yellow. Or even a nose hit, I think, is also good for them. It leaves them to something high in the house. A nose hit wouldn't help Pioneers, so... Trying to make this one curl. I don't want to lose it to the outside. Unfortunately, it stays out. They lose the shooter. They definitely needed to hold the shooter in that situation. It's now an opportunity for Pioneers to just get rid of this yellow. And I think in this situation, Pioneers are just going to want to lose their shooter as well. Don't want to give them a free guard. Trying to make sure this one, I think it's a bit inside. They're trying to see if it catches it. Oh! Just close there. Not quite able to hold it on that line. Yeah, Mertha not really happy with that stone. Could be a break for the Housekeepers. Let's see how they respond to it. Looks like they're going to try to split the house. Force Pioneers to chase.
Indicating it's a bit heavy. But
Going to be about T-line. Yeah, they wanted that one high up in the house. This one's going to be just behind the T-line. Timo looking at a double here. Just going to look at the nose hit here. Let's just get rid of that yellow. Leave something out in the open. Housekeepers will chase it. Hopefully leave theirs out in the open or set up a double themselves. Or miss. You never know. Just from how the order that he put the brooms, he tapped, I think he's going to want the hit and roll first. But if it nose hits, it's okay. Just adjusting the broom setup, the broom position. So, as we're waiting for Timo to get set up, update from Sheet B. Master Beta scored 2 in the 6th. So it's all tied up 4-4 in the 7th ends.
Close.
Got a really good match going over there.
Yeah.
All right, gets the job done, gets that yellow out of there. Over curled just a touch, but sits in a good position. Good as a nose hit there. And actually adds a little bit more space. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to roll that under the yellow. The way Sebastian is yelling "whoa" is indicating this is outside. Yep, they're trying to curl this over to get it more on the nose, but it's going to hit on the outside. They sweep this one out of play, and you see Brecht's just not happy.
Yeah.
He's not having a great game today. Typically, he is a pretty solid player. Unfortunately, just not having his best game this morning. So Timo just want to get rid of this yellow one. Possibly hold the shooter in the house if they can. Force Housekeepers to 1. I think the most important thing is to get rid of this yellow. And then force Housekeepers to think, do we need the 1 or do we need the blank to hold the hammer? But I think they're going to, I think they would opt for the 1.
Yep. Yeah, I think Pioneers would be happy with just giving them 1 in return for the hammer. Then they would have a 2-point lead going into end number 7.
Yeah, and quite possibly the hammer in the 8th. So this one is biting in the house. Just a couple centimeters. So essentially a wide open house to to go for. Caro saving some energy, possibility of having to play. Well, they definitely have to play another match later this afternoon, whether they win or lose. You have the bronze medal match at the same time as the final. So, a little bit of pressure on this shot. Brecht's not been having his best stuff today, but they need this point. Needs to get it in the house. Well, it's not light. You got to worry about being too heavy.
Looks fine.
Yeah, this looks okay. Just sweeping to guarantee it gets there.
And this is fine, although it's gonna be close.
It is lighter than it looks, but
Yeah.
gets in there. A little bit scary.
Yeah, they scared me a bit there.
Honestly, I thought, okay, this isn't gonna. He's not gonna leave this light. He might
Yes.
worry about being too heavy, and whoops.
Good call from Kevin there to just to make sure it's in.
Yeah.
Starting to sweep. It doesn't matter if it's all the way in the back. You have that runway.
Yeah, as John Robillard shouts often, make sure, make sure. So, another one on the board for the Housekeepers. We head into the 7th end. 4 Pioneers lead 5-3 over Desperate Housekeepers. Kevin's going to start it off here for us. Oh, I heard 1-2, so that's not very deep.
Since they're not sweeping, I guess they're fine with a 1-2 there.
Yeah, I think they want to make sure it gets onto the center line. But it just stays outside. So Timo's going to use that. Going to draw in behind it. Going directly into the house. Ooh, this one's going to be a little bit light. Going to try to hold this around the yellow, but I don't think so.
Might tap the guard. Definitely will tap the guard. Small tap.
They're going to be able to sweep this one into the house. Just shy of the house. Ooh, and stays off that center line. So still can't take it out, but no tick rules. The no tick rule is not in effect. Jeez, we're gonna have to figure out another name of that. See, that's why I like calling it tick rule. Makes it easier when to say to negate it. Just staying outside. Bastion trying to give it a little curl at the end. Just crosses the T line. Timo says, let's get a hack weight. Let's get around, roll underneath his guards in the middle. Aaron indicating it's heavy. Trying to curl this over. So at least it takes out the yellow, but I think it's not going to do it.
And that's worst case because it even taps yellow behind the guard there, so...
Yeah, gives the Housekeepers a bit of a break there.
Worried face there. Yeah, this sets Housekeepers up for a good end, although...
We've seen it before.
We've seen it before. Jeroen is still somewhere out there charging his cannon.
Something about counting chickens and hatching comes to mind.
Yeah. And need to get it around the guard here.
I think this one's going to be okay, and I was going to have enough weight to get into the house.
Need to sweep hard to get it in. Is it going to be in the house? No, but on the bright side, it takes away the drawing line there for
it does.
for Pioneers. Otherwise, Timo might have attempted to do a good draw, a freeze up against that Yellowstone, and set up for a steal.
Yep. All right, they're just going to clean up these guards.
Not sure if Jeroen is able to throw that weight.
Well, I don't think they have the intention of running things back. I think it is really just peel it, open it up.
Yep. A controlled takeout.
Because I think if they tried to run it back, you run the risk of the shooter staying in there, and that gives them a guard. So
yeah, replacing the guards is just losing a stone, but not changing the situation. Sebastian opting to center guards. I think that's a good goal. Also, kind of counter picking or countering the Pioneers. If they want to get rid of guards, then that's how you counter their plan. Carry second guessing the broom there.
No, I think they were looking at what are their options. Where do they want to leave the stone? And he said better a little bit inside with the stone than outside. If inside, it might cover up a little bit of that red. Just make it a little bit harder for Pioneers to run that back. But this one's going to be okay.
Yep, this looks fine.
Little bit deeper than they'd like, because now it's maybe a little bit better for a double, but I think it's still okay. They can't really use it to run back. It'd be a very difficult double angle run back. So I think the idea is just, but it can allow them to get rid of both of these guards with one stone.
Oof.
There we go.
And there it is.
Gets rid of them. Leaves that red in front of it, but it's their own, and there's nothing behind it. So now Housekeepers are going to have to try to put something between that red and their shot stone. Let's see. The other semifinal. They're all tied up at 4. The Masturbera and Team Reitsma 4-4, and they're in the 7th end there.
7th end, yep. Close game so far. Hard to tell who's gonna win there. My prediction was Team Reitsma. John picked the Masturberen. But they're evenly matched, so it seems.
This one just a little bit heavy, so that's going to stay out wide. Timo's going to sweep as hard as he can and gets it out the back of the house. But
the question is it behind the back line?
I think it's biting the back line. The way they're leaving it there, that it means it's just biting the back line. They don't mind getting rid of those, just kind of open things up here. Going to... Housekeeper's going to have to put up their own guard now. Although I think the way Timo looks, maybe that was not what they wanted. I think they were trying to run it back. Run the red one back, but just goes a little bit outside. Okay, they just finished the 7th end over on sheet B. Team Reitsma scored 1. So they lead 5-4 over the Masturbera, but the Bears have
the hammer in the last end.
In the last end.
That's such a close game there. Yeah, Reitsma, they are looking to steal here. And in case of a tie, then and the rule says in the semis you have to play in LSD. In the final, that will be an extra end, but in the semis, it's an LSD.
Some might also know it as the DSC or Draw Shot Challenge.
Yep.
There's different terms for it. This one comes over, takes away the takeout. They're just going to peel this guard off. Pioneers do have the hammer in this end, so just trying to set it up. And honestly, I could see the Pioneers playing for a blank in this end. If they have that opportunity, give themselves the hammer up by 2 going into the last end. I think even a steal of 1 wouldn't be the worst case scenario for them, but obviously they'd like to keep the Housekeepers off the scoreboard if they can. Oh, they scored 1.
Yeah,
sorry.
They scored 1.
They just scored 1. I thought I said that. Important draw here, needs to set up a guard. This one's sitting outside. Yeah, they're trying to get this to curl.
Gary trying to help with some backward sliding and sweeping to get it to curl, but it does not curl, and it leaves a hit and roll option for the Pioneers, and they can roll both sides now because with that guard stone, there's lots of room to roll. A little bit of a hamburger moment again, unfortunately for Brecht.
Yeah, I think they're gonna look. He's not gonna want to watch the replay. I know they do often to analyze it, but he is not gonna be happy with what he sees on this. You know, that being said, I mean, Housekeepers aren't out of it. They've been hanging around. They've been not allowing, except for the 1-3 house, not really allowing Pioneers to score a lot. So I just need to shoot the gap here. Trying to get this to curl. I want this one to peak.
Yeah, it can be a nose hit though. Now that leaves the yeah, well, the nose hit leaves the roll option for Housekeepers to steal here. That's I think why Jeroen was a bit disappointed with this stone because.
Well, yeah, I mean they really don't want to give them anything here.
Yeah, even a freeze could work. So they have to have a lot of options there. They just they don't have to run with one possible option.
Looks like they're going with where he's putting the brooms, going with maybe back line. Not really a heavy weight, so. Trying to make this curl.
It's
or not curl, sorry, it's the other.
Could over curl. Good over curl, and will it hit the guard? Yes.
Oh, it catches the guard.
And that's another unfortunate miss there from Brecht. Yeah,
wow.
Clear disappointment, and I can understand how he feels or why he feels that way. I mean, there were options to set up for a steal, and that one just curled too much.
Yeah. And I keep getting confused. I heard somebody on the other sheet was yelling curl, and then it's like, why are they trying to make that curl? I said, what, I hold it straight? Now, this is just going to be a draw into the
Yeah,
Draw into the 8-foot for 2.
scoring 2 here would increase their lead to 4 points, and that would be...
I would be very surprised to if they get the 2. I'd be very surprised if Housekeepers doesn't handshake, or I wouldn't be surprised to see a handshake.
Yeah, I mean, clear disappointment indeed with the Housekeepers. In their minds, it feels like they've lost the game by losing that last stone or leaving that last one short.
Yep. But we did see Timo miss an open draw early in the match. You know, that 3 house could have been a 4.
Oh, yeah.
But this one, they want to make sure. This one seems like it could be light as well. Is that going to curl over onto the guard?
Need to sweep.
Needs to
and
sweep.
It has to be better than yellow to be a second shot.
Oh,
there.
nope. Catches the guard again. Nope. So only 1 for the Pioneers.
And the lucky thing for Pioneers is it's also a miss, and an equal miss. But it doesn't have any consequences or big consequences here.
Yeah, I mean, Housekeepers, they need it. They need a 3 house. They need to set something up. We've only seen 1, you know, lots of 1s on the scoreboard, but there is that 3 from the Pioneers. So Housekeepers are going to have to match that here in the last end.
As they set up for the last end, let's try and have a quick peek. Yellow sitting strong there in the other semifinal.
Yeah, yellow is the Bera.
The Beren, yeah.
And we're still on. It's Jill throwing, so second stone's over there. As Karl leads us off here in the 8th end. Pioneers leading the Housekeepers 6-3. All the Pioneers are going to do is just kind of try to keep the Housekeepers from scoring. So again, putting 1 here right in the center of the house. Housekeepers have to leave it alone. They've got to try to build up some guards so they can try to score.
Sebastian heading over there to help sweep, get it over the hog line. It's very light and it's not gonna get over, I'm afraid.
Oh no.
Although, no.
No. You gotta wonder if they're just all of the air is out of their sails. It's
the last 2 stones in the previous ends might crack their spirit here.
Yeah. All right. It seems like the 7th place match has completed. The Grey Ducks and Stick and Stones coming inside. Guess they opted only to play 6 ends instead of the 8 as they were allowed to. And of course, they didn't put up the final end score, so we have no idea. But Grey Ducks was leading 5-2 as they went into the 6th.
So let's assume that the Grey Ducks probably won that game.
I would think so.
I think if I had to make a prediction, I would have been Grey Ducks.
Another one here into the house. Is going to curl around behind that other one. Just a little bit. Still in a good position. Housekeepers still, though, have to leave it alone.
I think Pioneers just putting stones on the pin to force Housekeepers to get rid of them and basically kind of use those stones.
Yep, they want to just force them to chase, and I think if they did, it's just become a takeout game. But with Pioneers sitting solid, not much they really have to do here. It wouldn't have surprised me if they had just started throwing stones through the house completely. But opted to play in. Because while housekeepers are taking their time building up guards, they could just be building up a big pile in the center of the house that makes it difficult for them to score. So
looking back to the game so far, what would be your moment of the game? Would it be the triple takeout from your room with that cannon shot, or would it be that missed run back stone from Brecht where they were facing a steal of 1 instead of scoring 3 in that end?
yeah, I mean the positive one is Jeroen's triple. That's an amazing, but you do have, Brecht struggles today. That's been, I think, a key part of this game for housekeepers. I mean, they're still relatively close. But yeah, they could have had the lead at some point in this game. It could have been a real back and forth. And so you kind of have to think that maybe Brecht struggles is one of the key points of this game.
Yeah, kind of stepping on the ice this morning, that winning against the Pioneers is not an easy job, and in order to do that, you have to seize every opportunity the Pioneers will give you.
And they don't give you many.
No. And the opportunities were there. There were a couple of opportunities where it could have gone into Housekeepers' favor.
Holding this one outside. Taps it back, moves the reds enough, so yellow sitting shot, but it is exposed, so I fully expect Timo, let's just get rid of it. Maybe roll out off to the side in front of those red backing, that red backing there.
And over on sheet B, we are down to the last couple of stones. Try to people updated on the final score there, since who's leading again? Was it
Team Reitzma is leading 5-4, but as I look over there, this is going to be nice. Gets rid of the yellow one. That's all they really needed to do. As I look over at the sheet, over on sheet B, Master Beira is sitting strong with 3 right there inside the 4-foot. And that the red one from Reitzma is out in the open. They could try to peel that off, but I think they may just try to guard over it. That's what they're discussing right now, what they should do. I think they're discussing the risk of trying to play a takeout on that one and potentially running it back and putting it in shot position. Want to get this one to Karl so it rolls
nice.
Underneath. This is going to look pretty good.
The room was so close.
Yeah,
but that was a very good stone. Indeed, it's exposed, so they were not able to find a roll, but the room to roll was just very, very narrow.
Yeah, it was such a tight window.
Not sure if that was even possible.
A little bit heavy. Gonna try to make this one curl. I think it's okay. I could be wrong. I have been wrong before. I am wrong this time.
And lucky for the Pioneers, that redstone didn't kind of kissed the Yellowstone and pushed it behind the guards. They swept to just avoid that from happening, I guess. But this gives Housekeepers options, but do they have options to score 3? That's
well, looking at this, the way Sebastian tapped his broom, they might try to split this yellow, so tap it over behind the guard and have the shooter kind of roll over in front of that red over there. So at least try to get something in the house. It may keep the shooter open, but it's a way for them to put something in the house and hope for a miss.
Now we are down to the last stone from Team Reitzma.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened over there, but that is a different setup than it was there before. I think they were a little bit wide on that takeout of the red. The hit on the yellow pushed things over, so that red sits up in a position where they can tap it back.
Yeah, they have an option with those yellow stones sitting towards the back of the T line. If they can get that red stone, freezing up to the yellow one. Who knows? And
Yeah, we definitely have to keep an eye on that. See if we can't get the camera on it for the
Yeah.
final stone.
I'll try to do that. Luckily for us, they're not kind of throwing at the exact same time, so we can switch around.
This one's gonna guard up that yellow and kind of creep over behind that other one. Nice setup there. Very good stone. That's gonna make that run back a little bit more difficult. All right, so here we have Hannah. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's her final stone. They need to push this red back into shot position. Weight looks okay. That gonna over curl and push it straight back?
It does?
No, a perfect shot.
Perfect shot
Wow.
right there.
Amazing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we missed the shots, but I think it was, for the sake of the tournament, important to show what was happening over at the B sheet there.
Myrta got that she got her takeout, took away that center yellow one, so it's going to force Housekeepers to do something else. Housekeepers not worried so much about winning the end as they are just keeping Housekeepers from... Or sorry, Pioneers aren't as worried about winning the end as they are worried about keeping Housekeepers from scoring big. So we've got Tur lining up for his final shot over on sheet B, needing to find a way to get this red one out of shot position. Oh, can we get over on the camera on there?
Yeah, I'm working on it. Relax.
Trying to make this curl. Maybe it's a little bit outside. Oh, I don't know.
I think
I don't know.
It's close. It's super close. It's so hard to tell. And also teams are looking at least it could be a draw. In that case, we're going for LSDs. So Reitsma is not out of the tournament. It's either Reitsma winning or LSDs, but they have to measure.
Oh, wow.
They will have to measure. And
it looks like so let's see. So Sebastian did get the split, so he was able to push the shot stone further behind the guard and get the shooter out of the way. Timo is just going to try to get this shooter or this second stone out. Needs to make this curl. All right, takes care of that one.
Meanwhile, we are measuring.
It's tight. Look at how far in he's pushing the micrometer. It's all the way at the edge. Oh.
Johanna is keeping it.
No, that's Jill.
Oh, that's Jill. Yeah. Can't really tell so far.
Nope, she's in the way. I don't have X-ray vision. Can't tell.
It looks like it's red. It's red.
It's red.
It's red. So Reitsma wins.
Wow!
What a game! what a! Imagine if we would stream that game. But well, we had the final moments of the game. And congratulations to Team Reitsma. I was right. John was wrong. We are going to have the national Austrian women's team in the finals of this Belgium Gouden Carolus Cup as we watch Yellowstone. Bit too hard there.
That's gonna slide through.
What a tournament so far. What a tournament so far. And Master Beren, they are out of the tournament. They lose.
Well, they'll be playing for the bronze medal.
They're playing for the bronze medal. They probably won't face the 4 Pioneers. So no face-off for Jeroen, Bram, the Vreken boys. But congratulations there to Johanna and Hannah and Jill for reaching the finals here. And we will be streaming them later in this tournament.
Yeah, that'll be at 1:15 Central European time.
Yep.
So roughly an hour and a half from now, that'll be starting. Will be, I don't know, I want to call it a kickoff, but it's not. What do you call it? Because it's like you have a tip-off in basketball, you have kickoff in football and soccer.
I don't know what you call it.
I don't know what I would call it.
The situation here.
First stones. How about
stones,
that?
yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to look that up, see if what they how they call it.
Like, what's at stake here? Housekeepers, they need to score 3 to force an LSD, force a tie here. They have 2 stones in the house, 1 stone left to play, which means if team was able to just take 1 stone, they take the victory here. Take out for victory.
And there it is.
There it is.
Good stone. Well played.
Well played. Congratulations to Pioneers as they move on to the finals.
Wow,
Timo, Jeroen, Karl, and Mirte.
They still have an option. There's still an opportunity. I mean, it's a tough one. It is tough. They are sitting shot. But they have to find a way to promote that guard far enough into the house and get the shooter far enough in the house. Basically has to be almost touching the 8 foot, the whites. So gonna try a super spinner.
Is there really an opportunity for Housekeepers to score 3 here? I mean, it is hard.
Not sure what the discussion was there. But what a shot this would be.
Yeah. Just imagine if they are able to nail it here.
Hammerstone for Housekeepers. You see a lot of handle on that. It's not gonna curl. I don't think so either, Tim. I think this one is well outside with so much handle it was never gonna fall. And so this one is just going to go through the house.
Final hamburger here for the brothers of the Desperate Housekeepers. They had a decent tournament, decent performance, but I think the Pioneers were just a better team in this game.
Too strong, yep. Really put their weight around, force their will on this match. And yeah, Tim, they, Housekeepers put up a fight to the end. Just unfortunate that they didn't come through. It would have been interesting to see if they were able to push those stones there, but I don't think it would have happened. Great match here in the semifinals. It's setting up an amazing final. I think we're going to have Team Reitzma against the 4 Pioneers, 2 of the strongest teams here in the tournament.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see something really exciting here. So
yeah. Also, they have a bit of a connection there. Johanna often stays over with Jeroen and Karl, so we have roommates competing in this golden final. The cup could go to the Putsensteenweg in Bonheden tonight. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, it will either way. It will either way, So, but we're really looking forward to it. Really exciting. Some great curling so far. Glad we were able to see those last couple of shots on the other semifinal, and I'm looking forward to this afternoon. I really am.
And I remember I've got this semifinals predictions all right. I've predicted the final Pioneers against Reitsma. And as I said, they were saving their best curling for last. And we witnessed that last stone from Hannah. Such an important kind of tick to put it in scoring position. Master Bear were unable to get rid of it.
Don't hurt yourself patting yourself on the back. I don't want you to have to come in with a sling in it next week.
Ah, yeah.
So.
Well,
So we are going to take a break. We've got about an hour and a half for the next match, maybe an hour and 20-ish, 25-ish minutes. It's going to give us a chance to rest our voices, get something to eat. We hope to see you back here and on Kurdia TV to watch it. And so thank you all for joining us now, and
see you soon, and bye now.
bye now.